Alright, in today's video we are talking about the Taken Hunter armor set. It is for silver, unfortunately. It is an Eververse. We've been asking for this as a community for years. You can see the Hunter, Titan, and Warlock set right here side by side. They look absolutely sick. All of them do. But sadly, they cost 1,500 silver each. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 1,200 silver each, but obviously the numbers got messed up right now. Bungie announced there's an issue with that. But either way, that's a lot of money for an armor set that the community has been asking for a very, very, very long time. Everyone has been wanting these for a very long time, and we finally got them after years and years and years and years and years and years of asking. But, unfortunately, they're behind a paywall. Like usual, this is Bungie. And sadly, they have not announced in any sort of way that these are coming out in for Bright Dust, like they did for the current set that's now available for Bright Dust. If you go down here, this set right here, they said would come out for Bright Dust at a later date, which they now have done. So, yeah, they have not announced that for the Taken set, so I highly doubt we will see it for Bright Dust. This really sucks, though, because this was the most anticipated armor set ever that the community wanted. We were very hyped for this one day to come. We always hoped it would come, and it finally did, but unfortunately, it's not tied to a raid or anything else. It is tied to Eververse, and it's tied to the silver part of Eververse. I really hope one day Bungie decides to make this Bright Dust, but currently at the moment, it is not coming out for Bright Dust. And it kind of sucks because there's a whole array of things. We've also got this right here, the Ascendant Skimmer Pack. We've got a vehicle that is Taken, which is absolutely amazing looking. This probably will end up being Bright Dust next season. That's usually how the this stuff works. That's usually how the the vehicles work. Usually they'll bring them out in another season for Bright Dust. It might be a season or two before we see it, but we will probably more likely see this for Bright Dust eventually. At least I hope. I don't think we've seen a skimmer for Bright Dust yet. I might be wrong about that. There might have been one skimmer we saw for Bright Dust. I don't know. Someone would have to correct me on that. But usually, eventually, you do see the vehicles either in the Eververse engrams or in Bright Dust at some point. Sometimes they just take a long time. So, in theory, they should eventually come around. Hopefully. Hopefully. Very much hopefully. The skimmer looks sick, though, either way. We've got a finisher as well that's Taken themed. It is the Phalanx. If you've ever been pushed off the map or killed by these Phalanxes, because they always have bugs, here you go. It looks amazing. It's just completely amazing. And then we have this Taken shader, which truthfully, I don't really like the Taken shader that much. It doesn't really give the Taken vibe. It just gives the white glow from the Taken. It doesn't really have the effect like the Taken armor has, which is the Taken effect in my opinion, which is what makes the armor 1,000 times better than the actual shader. But sadly, we are not going to see this for Bright Dust at the moment. This has literally been one of the most anticipated, the most wanted, the most craved armor set in the entire Destiny history is a Taken armor set for D2. And unfortunately, they decided to put it behind a paywall. Again, bad decision on Bungie's part. I think it's fine if they put it for a paywall first. Obviously, people are going to buy it. Obviously, people want it. They're not going to wait. But for those of us that do not have a lot of money, and a lot of people don't, it's nice to have the ability to, get it for Bright Dust eventually, just like they did with the current armor set that looked really cool now. It's now for Bright Dust. I'm very happy about it. I really like this set, so I'm very happy about this. But sadly, I don't see this one as being that way. I figure Bungie will leave this permanently in the game for silver. And I believe this because they'll probably put it down in this section right here, the archive. It'll be after the season, put in the archive. And it'll end up somewhere in here for Taken, and you can buy it whenever, because they're going to make a lot of money off it. At least we hope that will happen, because at least then it'll make sense. It might be a couple seasons, but eventually it'll end up in archive. At least it should, in theory. We'll see, officially. But sadly, Bungie, I don't know why we put it behind a paywall. I mean, it's fine if they say later on we're going to add it for Bright Dust, but at the moment they haven't said that. So I'm going to assume, because most of the time when they say it, if they're going to do it, they will say it right away. So the fact they haven't said it makes me really concerned about it not coming out later on. Which is sad, because I do really like it. I think it's amazing. I love the Taken. It's one of my favorite races. Unfortunately, they haven't done much with them. We thought this was going to be a crazy Taken season because of what they did last season with Heresy, but they didn't do anything else with Taken, unfortunately, and it doesn't look like any of these seasons this year are going to be Taken related. So Takens, I guess, have just been put to the wind again, sadly. One of the coolest races ever, and unfortunately, barely get love for him. And then on top of it, the skimmer just sick. The finisher is amazing. The shader is amazing. We might end up getting the shader one day as well, but I don't really like the shader, so not that much of a loss. I do like the skimmer, though. I really hope they bring the skimmer out for Bright Dust eventually as well, but we'll see. Hopefully, if Bungie sees this, they will actually, if not see this, but see the community outreach on it. They'll actually say, yes, we're going to make it Bright Dust later on. It'll be next season or something. I'll be fine with that. I'd be happy for that. Heck, if I have to wait 2 seasons for it to be Bright Dust, I just want a confirmation eventually it's going to come out for Bright Dust. Because this is such a cool armor set, it just cannot never come for Bright Dust. It has to. Simply just because in the future, people are going to play the game, and then they didn't know there was a Taken set. They'll be like, oh, cool. Or if they do, like I said, put it in the archive eventually, the people are like, oh, I really want that. It'd be nice to have it for Bright Dust eventually. Obviously, they only bring out armor sets like once when they bring out for Bright Dust, so probably would never see it again, but it'd be nice just to get be there to get it. I got 112,000 Bright Dust ready to go. I'm ready to buy this full set on every character for Bright Dust. Just don't got the silver for it, unfortunately. Hopefully Bungie will do something about this. Hopefully Bungie will actually decide to release this. I highly doubt it, because Bungie's all about money grubbing lately, and they've made horrible decisions. I highly doubt they're going to make the smart one. But you never know. We can always hope, right? Anyways, that's the video. I just wanted to talk about the armor set. It's such a beautiful set. I really hope Bungie puts it in Bright Dust. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment what you think. Thanks for watching. Adios, we gone. Bye!